All right, guys, let's talk about the certain skills you need as a media buyer. To get the expertise across the platforms, analytics, and creative strategy that you need to make sure that your clients get the results they are looking for. First things first, let's start with the platforms that you kind of need to master to make this work. Starting off with Google Ads. This is honestly one of the most popular platforms out there. Google Ads is a huge ecosystem, by the way. Think of search ads, display ads, shopping ads, platform networks ads, YouTube ads. They're all under the umbrella of Google. It's a great tool. You are basically with this platform focusing on keyword research, bidding strategies, and I would say search intent targeting. So people that kind of look for a specific item, you want to show up with your product. And this is a very good platform because this is the platform that usually for our clients has the highest conversion rate, because people that are actively searching for a specific keyword, they also have their wallets open and are ready to buy. Otherwise, you're not searching for it most of the times. All right. Sometimes you're doing some research, but most of the times, um, if I'm writing in Google MacBook Pro 16-inch 2024, then I kind of already know what I'm looking for, and all I want to know is where can I buy it the cheapest. You know what I mean? So same thing goes for fashion. If I'm looking for, I don't know, long tail jacket or something, then I'm looking for a long tail jacket. I don't even know if that's a word. But what you want to do is show up with the right intent searches that you have to offer for your clients. So if your clients are in the fashion industry, then you're looking for keywords like, I don't know, streetwear brands, streetwear clothing, streetwear jeans, and stuff like that. Those are the keywords you're kind of going for. Anyways, great platform, very high converting platform. Then let's go to the social platforms. Meta ads, also a huge, 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 huge ecosystem, because Meta ads have, of course, Facebook in it, Instagram, WhatsApp as well nowadays, Messenger, partner networks as well. So huge, huge ecosystem, and it's great for social advertising. Here, you're kind of focusing on audience targeting, and you're also nurturing people with retargeting ads, and you try to create these, scroll stopping ads, because unlike Google ads, people are not actively searching on these social platforms for a product. No, they are actually there to whatever, see who got divorced, see who got married, see who got a child, see who got broke, who had a breakup, see what their friends are doing on holiday. That's what they're there for on social media. They're kind of there to consume content. They're not there to look for products to buy. So you're kind of shoving your product down their throat unasked for. So you have to make sure that you actually have a ad that's worthy to watch, first of all, and an offer worthy to take action on. But more about that later down the line. TikTok ads, kind of similar as Meta ads. It's a bit smaller ecosystem because TikTok, well, just has TikTok feed. It has some news partner networks attached to it, but they're useless. So we only use the TikTok ads, TikTok feeds. That's what I wanted to say. Now, TikTok is ideal for going viral and having short form video marketing. So if you have UGC type of content, then that's great for TikTok ads. And if you have TikTok worthy of content, like if you're asking yourself, like, what is TikTok worthy content? Just open the app, start scrolling, you'll see what I mean. It's kind of lower grade quality production type of videos. With Meta, we're looking for a bit more, I would say, better quality production videos. But TikTok also great. With TikTok, you can very easily leverage trends because it's a kind of a trend platform. Everything that goes viral sees everyone on TikTok. You can go very viral very quick on TikTok. With Meta, it's a bit slower process. And if you're, let's say you have a client that's targeting the Gen Z population, then well, TikTok is a very great platform for that. The opportunities that TikTok has to offer is only growing, to be honest. A lot of fashion brands, fitness brand, lifestyle brands are entering the TikTok space, and we have seen great success with fashion brands and fitness brands ourselves, to be honest. So very interesting platforms. Now, with these platforms also comes their own, I would say, analytics dashboard, and this is also something you would have to learn and understand because analytics matter. And why it does matter is because it helps you track performance metrics like CTR, click-through rate, CPC, cost per click, and ROI, return on investments, because these are very important metrics that your clients are also looking to. So you need to be able to report that and understand that better than your clients. Also, without analytics, you don't know what's working and what's not working. So it lets you spot very quickly what's working and what you need to be focused on. If you have, like, let's say 5 creatives running, you see that creative 1 is way cheaper to advertise with. It has a higher conversion rate as well. Then why would you keep on spending ads on 5 creatives? Why don't you allocate the budget to that creative that's a winning creative, But more about that later. Now, some tools you'll be using, obviously Google Analytics, you need to understand that, but don't worry, I'll teach you everything about that. And then the ad manager dashboards like Meta Ads, analytics, and then TikTok analytics. And if you have, let's say, a client in the e-commerce space, well, you need to also understand their Shopify or WooCommerce analytics, which we'll be talking about as well later down the line. Because I'll be teaching you how to analyze the data to make smart decisions, and also how to advise your clients on those decisions. Also how to test and tweak campaigns for better results, because there's always room for improvement. If something is working, great, the creative is working, now let's try some different hooks, different headlines, and so on. Now, when you do all of this all in the back end and you don't inform the client or the customer that you have, then in their eyes, you're basically doing nothing. But if you provide them a clear report with very detailed stuff, they can get impressed and they can trust you more. So in the beginning, they always don't trust you so yet. But if you're very communicative, if you have good reports, they start trusting you. And as I mentioned in previous videos, once they trust you, they kind of take their hands off and they know, all right, this guy, he has his best interest for me. I know that he's working hard to make it work. But if your communication is bad, if your reporting is bad, then they have their doubts, to be honest. Now, beside understanding how to make ads, how to analyze it, you also kind of have to understand the creative strategy behind these ads. And then, that's why we're moving also to the creative strategy and copywriting. Now, once you're, I would say, creating these ads, you're creating them to get results. So you need to understand what creative strategy means. You need to understand what makes a good ad stand out. Like, people are on their phones scrolling. You need to make sure you have a pattern interrupting ad, because they're in a pattern of scrolling. You need to interrupt that pattern, have an ad that's interesting enough for them to stop scrolling and look at it I would say, digest it, and also go for the CTA that you have, the call to action, whether that's downloading something, buying something, or learning more about something, right? More about that later as well. You need to be able to combine visuals and messaging to connect with the audience. So the way you write your text, it needs to trigger people. Me personally, because we're only targeting e-commerce clients, what I say, my first sentence is, are you a Shopify store owner? Like I speak directly to the person. If they're not, they scroll past me. Great, because I don't need them. If they are, they get hooked. I am, they think, and then they're like, all right, let me see what this bald guy has to say, So that's how we trigger them. We have multiple hooks targeting e-commerce owners and fashion owners and so on. Now, you could be using trends, emotions, and storytelling as well to boost your engagement, but that's all tips and tricks for later down the line. Copywriting, nowadays, it's easier than ever to use ChatGPT. Obviously, make sure it's not copy-paste. Make sure that you talk to ChatGPT, tell them like, hey, make it more sound like a human instead of an AI written text, and you can read for yourself with what is AI and what is not, right? You need to focus on clarity, the benefits, and the call to actions in each of these ads. And you need to tailor your messaging to the specific audience. Like I just said, I speak to Shopify owners in some of my ads. So I say, Shopify owners, listen up. This is the best offer you will hear. That triggers them, stops them from scrolling, and like, all right, let's see what this guy has to say or to offer. Now, why these skills matter is, guys, you become more valuable the more you know, to be honest. So if you not just know how to press the buttons on these ad platforms, but you also understand the theory behind everything, the marketing psychology about everything, you become more valuable in the eyes of your clients. get better results for them, they get happier, you get paid more, everyone wins. um, and also it helps you to adapt to any industry or target audience, especially if you have a broader knowledge about marketing. Me personally, put me in any business right now, doesn't matter if it's e-commerce, lead generation, or local business, I would know how to attack that problem that they would have, because, over the years, kind of see the same problems happening. You kind of know what strategies work um, for each of these problems, right? So again, emphasizing that the more skills you know, the more valuable you get, and the more doors will open for you. More skills equals more opportunities in this game of media buying, guys. Mastering these platforms makes you a go-to expert for your clients. The more platforms you know, the more valuable you get in their eyes. Understanding strong analytics and creative skills also allow you to handle both small and large campaigns, because if you have small clients, you know eh, whatever you say they would probably believe because they don't know better. But if you're working with, let's say, bigger companies with larger campaigns, usually the person behind it kind of knows what you're doing. So if you're basic knowledge and you're not, I would say, further ahead than the owner himself that's not running the ads, then he wouldn't trust you with his business. You need to always make sure you're way further in your knowledge than the person that's hiring you, because at the end of the day, why is he hiring you, right? Like, he's looking for someone that can do it better and not the same level. So make sure you're always improving on that. And having these skills, again, allows you to work with clients from any industry. And I'm really mean any industry. We've done all of these as well. And, there's so much more industries, to be honest, that you can approach with this. If you know consumer psychology, if you know marketing, all doors will open up for you, to be honest. So some takeaways from this, I would say, video is, get to familiar with these platforms, because they're very important. It's very fine and okay to, I would say, professionalize or specialize in one of these platforms at first, but try expanding, because the more you expand, the more valuable you get. Also be teaching you how to, read these analytics, how to track results and identify what's working and what's not, and then how to play in on that as well with your clients. And also I'll give you some more consumer psychology content down the line on how to write good copywriting, what a good hook is, what a good body is, and what a good CTA is. More about that down the line as well. And why this matters, again, emphasizing that all these combined skills together makes you a well-rounded media buyer that people are looking for and are scarce right now. A lot of people are, oh, I'm a Facebook specialist, and they don't know anything about consumer psychology or any other platforms. But if you are a well-rounded media buyer, you are very valuable and you're very scarce. So people are also willing to pay you more for that, because, again, you have more to offer than all the other ones out there. Um, while you're, I would say, running campaigns and you're delivering results for these clients, you also grow your own career in the process. You become more knowledgeable, you become more confident, and also you have more case studies to show. So each client you help succeed gives you more confidence and gives you more case studies for the next client, which you can charge more with. If you help, let's say, 10 fashion stores grow, and the 11th person is knocking on your door, you tell them, like, hey, you're paying, I would say, twice that much. And they're like, why? And they're like, because I already have this track record. I already tested what's not working with other people's money. So you don't have to waste that money. So therefore, if you want my expertise, this is the price. And that's what you can be demanding if you do have the experience. But again, things takes time. So be patient, build your case studies, build your portfolio, and down the line, you become more valuable. And obviously practice and dedication, guys. These once you have this, it again, the doors that will open for you are endless. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.